A bodhisattva makes a compassionate vow to help people. Compassion is defined as an awareness of suffering and a willingness to relieve that suffering. It's a willingness to relieve the suffering. Most people won't really want that. They're not ready, they're not able to be with you in that way where you could help relieve their suffering at a root level or on any really meaningful level. Certain people will. So when I talk about letting certain people go out of your life, it's because they can't be helped. Because the definition of compassion is that it's a willingness to help. It's based on an awareness of suffering. That's important. Every word in that definition is important. Compassion is an awareness of suffering. So it's an awareness, not a thought, not a feeling, not an emotion, not a pattern, not a precept, not a rule, not a law. It's an awareness of suffering, which implies an awareness of the nature of suffering, and included in that is an understanding of what it is. So an awareness of suffering. Awareness encompasses the notion of understanding and insight. So an awareness of suffering coupled with a willingness to relieve that suffering. So a bodhisattva is willing to help, but probably most of the time can't, because no one will let them do it. People don't want to change. They don't want to be helped at those deeper levels necessarily. So if you have to make a decision and leave certain social circles, good. It benefits everyone because you're being true to yourself. And you're willing to relieve suffering, or you're willing to help. You're willing to, it's like polishing a mirror. Your pure awareness, it just reflects what's there. And the mind is like having dirt on it and you can't see. And it shows you something that's false. And it distorts what would otherwise be a clear vision of what's necessary. So you polish the mirror and you can just see. Some people might want to join you in that. They would like to be clearer. They would like to polish their own mirror. We're working on this together. Really, ultimately, we're in this together. It's just some people are ready for that and some aren't. So we're willing, but not everyone can receive that. And that's just as compassionate as a different example where someone receives it and we help them. That's why the definition says it's a willingness to relieve suffering. It's really important. People think compassion means being weak or like you're a doormat. No, not at all. It's based on awareness. When I say suffering, if there's someone that's lying to you or wants to harm you or harm themselves, or they're caught up in something nefarious, the awareness will show you that. And that's an awareness of suffering. You just see it. Just like a light shows you something, you see it. And that seeing and the willingness to help relieve it, it has its own movement. It's like pouring water out. It just takes a natural path. Like in Taoism, the Tao meaning the way. How do we live? Well, it's like the way water moves. That's one way to look at it. It could be like a river. It's perfect. It's poured out in a sense. The snow melt runs off the mountains and comes down through the valleys, and it's perfect. It goes exactly where it is supposed to go or where it needs to go. Regardless of what we think about it, it is. In a similar way, when we embody compassion in the way I'm describing, it moves or it doesn't, and it is. It's not based in thought. We may think that it's like, oh, we need to be nice to people. No, that's not compassion. Not necessarily. Maybe we are outwardly nice, or people think that we're nice. Not necessarily. Sometimes we may be perceived as blunt or taciturn or stoic or terse. That's called having boundary, taking care of ourselves, choosing who we relate to and with. It's very important. It goes against the grain of society in many cases, if not most. And it's protective of what appears to be self and other, but which is really one appearing as two. And that's love. We recognize our friends, and we have to learn that. Again, it's like polishing a mirror or purifying a substance. Our pure awareness is, in a sense, defiled by our mental attachments. And we learn what those attachments are. We become clearer. And we transcend these attachments and let them go, release their energy, reclaim the energy, and have a sense of power, which is really just the ability to do things. Not power over anyone. Not like that. Mastery. Not control. It's not about controlling anything. There is no control. There's just being and its movement in the world. And it's based on reality. It's based on truth. And it's similar to seeing. Similar to seeing. Awareness shows us what's there and we act accordingly. It's just not a conditioned self. It's not an old pattern. We may use thoughts, we may use abilities that are mentally conditioned, but because we're conscious, we can, in a sense, like a tool, pick it up, use it, and then put it down, and then be present through the whole thing. It's just, we need to function in life. So having critical thinking skills, for example, is important. It's just not who we are. It's what we use. And it's part of this relationship, this compassionate non-duality. When we love another, when we see the essence of the other compassionately, that's not a dualistic relationship. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what we're here to do. It's just not everyone can receive that. And that is as it should be because it is. It's actually beautiful. We may experience some sadness or it's natural to make decisions where maybe an old friend is caught up in an addiction, for example, and can't be helped, or they're acting out in ways that are harmful to us or to our family, or we just, in a sense, intuitively know what to do with that. And it can be kind of sad to lose a friend. It's just how it is. All you're losing is an attachment that doesn't serve life. It doesn't serve well-being or conscious awareness. What appears to be growth of conscious awareness is really just a falling away of illusion. It's like clouds moving out of the way of the sunlight. The sun is just always there. Sometimes it's cloudy and we can't see as well. Sometimes it's a sunny day and we can see clearly. We become clearer and we act accordingly. And it's a blessing. It's just something we have to get used to. It is decisive. It cuts through illusion and it's liberation. Compassion can be directed at self or other. And I like to say that compassion is like a bicycle. It has two wheels. And we take care of ourselves so that we can meet the other compassionately. And we take care of the other because, as Jesus says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Love God and love your neighbor as yourself. That's what we're here to do. Sometimes your neighbor needs more attention, more help. And sometimes we need more help. So it's giving and receiving. It's receiving the gift of giving and giving the gift of receiving. That's what we're here for. It's love, it's compassion. I think sometimes it's hard for people who are really sensitive and maybe in a helping profession or they're oriented toward helping others to see that part about taking care of self. It seems selfish or self-centered. It really isn't, because it's not about specialness or egotism. It's just taking care of the person so that you can, in turn, take care of your neighbor. And the awareness shows you what's needed. And it makes you strong, not weak. It makes you decisive, not indecisive and wavering. Compassion is not dualistic because it involves seeing one's own being in another. There's one being, one reality, one truth, and we're seeing it in another person and acting accordingly. And it's natural. It doesn't require thought. We just know what to do because, again, it's like the way a river moves. It knows exactly what to do and under what conditions perfectly. It's love. The teacher, Byron Katie, I remember her being asked why she does anything. And she says, because that's what love does. That's what that is. We learn to live and move from our being and recognize that being in others and in all things. And it protects us. And yes, we use the mind, we use the body, we use the person. It's instrumental, but it's not who we are. Not in our essence. It's what we use. We use our arms to hug. Some people don't have arms. Just love. Our presence is what is important. Sometimes we feel like our parents don't love us or someone doesn't love us. Often I like to say that expecting or wanting someone to love us who is incapable of loving us in that way, it's like wanting a hug from a man with no arms, for example. Like, oh, daddy didn't love me. It's like, yeah, he did. He just didn't have any arms. And I had to realize that with my own father, that my father loved me. I was the one that was being unloving because I expected him to show up in a certain way. And that was a judgment. He should, say that I'm special, or he should praise me in a certain way, whatever. He wasn't like that. And I realized, of course, he loved me. That was a liberation. That was a recognition of his essential nature. Incredibly happy realization. And then I just wanted to know what he wanted. Take care of his needs. It's just love. And I felt happy doing that. Before, when I was an angry young man, I thought that he should show up in a certain way when he couldn't. That's pretty stupid. So at some point there was a realization of, oh, he should love me becomes I should love him. That's the work of Byron Katie. That's the turnaround. I was projecting it. Just love. It's not that we should like a judgment, just like, oh, yeah, just love him. When it's not judgmental, it's just curious about what he wants or needs, or it's beautiful, including whatever apparent limitations are there, abilities or lack of abilities. Or it's like, well, I want a hug. It's like, he doesn't have any arms. So who's the asshole? I guess I'm the asshole. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Seriously, though, even the word asshole, that definitely sounds like a judgment. All I'm doing is describing an unskillful behavior, perhaps, a way of withholding love. Like, I should be hugged. It's like, come on. What's actually there? Just be with it.